Regarding disempowerment, the whole ordeal of COVID has left me a bit bewildered. Before COVID, it felt as though mankind was on a verge of mass awakening with so many wonderful mentors like Eckhart Tolle, Tony Parsons, Ramana Maharshi. So how have you reconciled with the events of the year pre-COVID versus after COVID? It's a bit overwhelmed. Yeah, I didn't notice a difference. You know, not socializing and staying inside is not much different for me. Like, freedom is in everything. And it's so funny actually, because me and my partner got locked down in like non-ideal living situations. I mean, there's also ideal, like compared to majority of people, but I think I've mentioned before about my apartment having mold and issues. But yeah, and we're also so lucky to have a home, and yeah. But it's just, freedom is always in yourself, in the I am, in the empty looking. It's not found in time. COVID is also a story. And people being locked down, you know, they didn't have any excuses to blame things on. You know, they didn't have their energy exercised, so their mind, you know, went in on themselves. I find a lot of people, if you take away their activity, they go to depression because their solar plexus it's all to do with the solar plexus and disempowerment. It's that their solar plexus is in do, because they're so afraid of feeling disempowered and trapped and caged and not doing and being abandoned, you know, if they don't do, or dying if they don't do. And that is still a solar plexus out of balance. So then when they start not doing, so they get locked in for a whole year or 2 years, then the solar plexus goes into depression. And then it's, unfortunately, the more you're depressed, the more that your brain gets used to being depressed. So you start underproducing serotonin, I think. I don't know all the chemistry to it. So it's like a cycle. But I just don't operate like that, because nothing is my freedom. So if my liberties are taken away, so I can't do things, then in those moments where I would be doing them, I just sit and meditate, or make something else up to do. Because freedom is always in the I am and the empty looking. It's never in time. And I think it really, really exacerbated mental health issues in society, like really exacerbated it. Because a lot of people escape their mental health issues by doing all the time. So they're kind of covering up, they're seeking the whole time, and the seeking is kind of giving them a high, because they think, if I get the house, if I get the money, then I will be free. And it kind of gives them tastes of freedom. So it's always kind of covering up. It's never really like addressing the problem. And then when you take everything away, it's just like the mind just goes wild and starts attacking itself. Thanks for your question, Michael. It's good that you are starting talking about relationships where it's good that you start talking about relationships where the real growth happens, because the non-dual teachings have been an escape for a lot of us. Yeah, all of us, including me. I used it to avoid as well. My thing is if I became enlightened, I then thought I could be the perfect helper. Like, other people wouldn't get angry because I could just be invisible for everybody else. That's often the helper, what they want to be, is I'll have no emotions, no anger, no resistance to people like these more narcissistic characters. And it didn't work. I mean, the awakening part worked, because at the same time in doing it, you know, I asked these really profound questions and really committed myself to this subject. But it didn't work, as in, like, people get just as pissed with you after awakening as before. In fact, maybe more, because at least before you had more issues, so it kind of got diluted. But then afterwards, because you got less issues, they get even more pissed with you. It's funny, eh? Larry, Do you recognize other awakened people when you see them in a store or pass them on a street? No!